Top of the morning to ye, all you lovely people out there. It's on St. Patrick's Day.
We're sorry to the Irish and those of Irish descent.
We deeply
Lives,
apologize.
I tried a very poor Irish when I tried to voice Dying in Final Fantasy VII run. I'm pretty sure that bridge has been crossed and demolished already. Anyway, today's another indie showcase for Nintendo.
Besides, I'm like...
With a Powerpuff Girl intro?
I was about to say, that looked very Powerpuff Girls.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter because I'm like 25% Irish on my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
Well, what do we start with?
And apparently 15% Welsh.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then, so what do we have here?
Looks, it reminds me of that Gingerbread Man game for the Wii.
It looks like a fusion of Assassin's Creed, A Hat in Time...
I don't know, it reminds me more of the Wind Waker.
It looks like there's a bit of parkour to it. Interesting art style, though. I'll admit, this looks pretty big for an indie game, not gonna lie.
Well, indie games, thanks to sponsorship and exclusivity deals, indie developers are getting more budget these days.
And Lord knows, Nintendo are quite possibly some of the masters of sponsoring indie games these days. That used to be Steam, but, well, you know what happened to Steam, right, Shiroi?
And I'm Sam Robertson.
And that was the
So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting week, folks. Not only are we finding out stuff about Xbox Series X, not only are we apparently getting the reveal of the PS5 tomorrow, which we'll probably also commentate on, but today we're also getting a Nintendo Nindy Direct, which probably means we'll be getting a full-on Nintendo Direct like a week later, going off the
Available summer 2020.
I think this game looks good. What do you think?
It's interesting enough.
It looks like a parkour game. Oh, Italy.
Oh.
Oh, speaking in Italian, actually.
Huh.
Well, yeah. Well, he's
Oh,
Italian.
no.
Yeah, so.
Oh, this is the game I think Pedro was also interested. It's basically the bootleg Ni no Kuni game.
Oh, made by Italians. How nice.
I think we have mentioned
Gotta
this
be honest,
before.
I'm terribly sorry, but the thing is, before the announcement of this game, I actually knew nothing about this studio, but apparently they do have an extensive, resume behind them.
Oh, something worth checking out.
Potentially, I suppose. Again, little knowledge about it, unfortunately.
So, does he seem genuine with the accent?
Yeah, Jova.
He's Italian.
Pure one, Jova. Not like Italian. Still, anyway. Okay, this trailer actually makes the game look better compared to the first one. Looked still rough, but again was an alpha state. This one looks better.
Looks a bit like a Zelda game, sort of,
Yeah,
with the perspective.
summer 2020.
Well, looks like summer 2020 will be a good time for indie games. Oh, Annapurna.
Shelmerston, a small but remarkable island in the North Atlantic with a long.
Why does this look like it could be the sequel to Untitled Goose Game?
No.
This is a little more detailed, I think, but I do see what you're getting at.
Again, instead that the developers were more fan of Animal Crossing.
Speaking of which, I'm hearing that Animal Crossing New Horizons is pretty good. And that people are just overjoyed that it's finally released.
Well, we all need something to do.
Actually, it's releasing on the 20th, Joe, if I recall.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
it's just the reviews that have come in then.
I am dead.
Oh.
Oh!
That's a bummer.
Okay.
But you just say it when you're dead.
Huh.
So let me guess, you play as a ghost,
This
don't
is
you?
the story of how I died.
I'm dying to explore the afterlife.
Ha! Dying to explore the afterlife.
X-ray vision, sign me up.
Although, from what I hear, Shelmerston may not be long for this world.
Hello? Tiny island
Yeah.
mysteries is going to be what saves it.
Basically, Dribs, you're dead here.
Hollow Ponds and Richard Hogg, these guys know their way around.
We stopped.
And I can't wait to solve
Yes, you're
it. I Am
dead.
Dead launches first on Nintendo Switch as a timed exclusive
Oh,
later this year.
I am dead. How nice.
Yes, we're all dead here.
yeah. I lose my
Or-
connection and I'm automatically dead. I didn't know you guys were so impatient.
How do you name a game Bark?
Doggos. Listen, there's a game called Untitled Goose Game, okay? We just, you know.
Oh boy,
Devs are
Untitled
getting
Game, my favorite.
devs are getting lazier and lazier these days.
So, Untitled Dog Simulator, anyone?
At some point, a game will just be called Game.
I think there is a
That's
game
what our
just
game
called
store is
Game.
called.
It's in the style of Gradius.
Oh. So, apparently you work with robotic dogs to save the world, I guess?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a dog fight.
Oh my god.
This adorable party game is a Meowvelous
You're welcome.
family game.
Thank you very much. Anyway,
This isn't
bye.
the kind of thing that I'd buy just to play with other people.
Oh, get
Not
it?
really
Bio
so
is...
much something I'd be invested in.
Cyanide
Wait,
and
the
happiness.
creator of Cyanide and Happiness?
Oh, whoa.
I'm not familiar with that.
Cyanide and Happiness is a long
One of the
running
longest
web
running
series.
webcomic of the internet.
It still holds up to this day, actually. It even has a web cartoon.
So, what are they going to do here? Are they going to make a Cyanide and Happiness video game?
Yeah, actually, there was a Kickstarter for something like that. Maybe this is actually the trailer for the release.
I have never actually read this webcomic before.
Yeah, it is. Freak Apocalypse. I remember seeing the Kickstarter for this.
And be sure to keep an eye out for me. I'm the one that's not dead.
That's great. I'll definitely check it out. Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
No, you won't.
Oh, snap.
Jesus.
Chris?
Everyone is dying today.
Yeah.
while we get ready to plan this funeral, play our game.
There seems to be a running theme here today.
Exclusive on Nintendo Switch.
What, dead people?
Yep.
No, that's Spanish team.
Presentamos nuestro nuevo videojuego. Summer in Mara es una aventura tropical que cuenta la
Summer
historia
in
de
Mara.
una niña que deja su hogar para descubrir los secretos del océano. Hemos creado una aventura sobre
Oh, I've always said growing up and protecting manure.
Oh, a farming game.
But we have Farming Simulator for that.
Or Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I prefer Stardew for that.
Leave Farming Simulator lives to the Germans.
It might be tempting to just kick back and catch some rays when you hit the beach in Summer in Mara. But the ocean calls you to fulfill your destiny, and mysteries await.
Yeah, like, what's up with that gigantic rock thing right there on your island?
Make friends, farm, explore, and craft as Koa's adventure unfolds in a vibrant world with weather events and
So you're
daily
playing as
exploration.
older Dora the
Contrary to
Explorer,
its
it
name,
seems.
You're not gonna have to wait until summer to play this game.
I thought there was already a show about that.
There is.
As a time
Actually, it reminds me a bit more of my time as a porty, I think it's called.
Is that an anime?
No, a game similar to this.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Balthazar Roger from Nimble.
Oh, fix your haircut, dude.
Well, I have to say, this has been quite the multicultural direct.
Yeah, Italy, Argentina, Spain.
In 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2 online battles. In
Ooh.
this game, causality isn't fixed, and you can change the outcome of a round each time it rewinds. It's like your favorite time travel movie mixed with a highly competitive.
So Back to the Future with
This online FPS is a bit of a
Quantum
brain
League.
bender. But once you wrap your head around the nifty time paradox mechanic,
So basically, this is if Tracer's abilities from Overwatch became a full game.
I was about to say, so it's like a Tracer got her own spin-off.
Yeah.
plan your actions each round strategically, and you and your clones can feint opponents.
But I don't know, can Tracer rewind time?
Yes.
I can barely read the title.
Doesn't their device allow their... Oh, someone from Japan. Sweary! Oh, maybe we're talking about...
The Good Life.
Okay, he's talking about The Good Life.
Who's sweary?
The maker of Deadly Premonition, Jovan.
Oh!
Writer.
What's he doing here? Shouldn't
Takes
he
place.
talk...
Wait, hang on. Hang on. It takes place in a British. It's in a British town. And it's a debt repayment RPG.
Oh, Rainy Woods. Would you say that's accurate, Shroy and Dwibs?
No, she pursues birth. Also, Jovan, know that there was another game he was working on called The Good Life.
Huh.
And this is the one he's presenting.
Wait a minute. So it takes place in rural Britain, and the most you can come up with is bloody debt repayment.
Oh, you solve a murder too. And apparently you can turn into a cat. Or a dog.
I think you can actually control your pet cat or something.
Oh, you can ride a sheep.
Enjoy the bizarre charm of Rainy Woods when
So maybe this takes place in Wales.
Nintendo Switch this year.
Well, it says rural Britain, so maybe.
I'm Sean Murray.
Oh, England.
Oh, hello. Wait, Sean Murray.
So you update for No Man's Sky?
Designer on the Last Campfire. It's a game about Ember.
Oh god, don't tell me No Man's Sky would be coming to the Switch.
They did mention one of the members of the team who was trying to make another new game.
We really hope you like it.
Well, I mean, since their reputation's recovered,
yeah.
From after they managed to recover No Man's Sky, I guess now they have enough funds to do something else.
Well, they already had the funds anyway, Dweebs.
Temple Crawler?
Yeah. Okay, just don't repeat your mistakes from the first No Man's Sky, and you should be fine.
Dweebs, if you watched the video about it from Internet Story, you know it was mostly executive meddling.
I guess it goes for everyone involved, including the executive meddlers.
Yeah, because, I mean, while it is mostly executive meddling in these things, sometimes the developers just made stupid mistakes.
No, simply put, Sean and his team and wanted to take their time to release the game, but only later they told, no, you have to release it in a few months.
So people get turned to stone in this universe.
And you have to restore them.
I didn't know this was the game adaptation of Dr. Stone.
But that one is dead, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, considering also the bonfire, no, this is more like Dark Souls 2.
Huh.
The Last Campfire.
Wow, it's even a campfire. It's just like Dark Souls.
Hello Games, known for the vast galactic exploration of No Man's Sky, delivers an altogether more intimate adventure with
It's good to live in a time when we don't have to talk about No Man's Sky with shame.
When the Last Campfire
Summer
launches for
2020.
Nintendo Switch,
Yeah, summer 2020 is going to have quite its fair share of indie titles.
immersive techno beats and
Pixel Junkie
2.
artist Bayan and Kyoto-based Q Games have got
Oh god, it's one of those trippy games.
Eden 2, stages generate in real time based on your actions as you guide an inquisitive little creature called a Grimp on a journey to save its fellow Grimps and restore their gardens.
each choice you make, from which Grimp you control to how you enhance and maneuver them, gives rise to a distinct sensory experience.
Enjoy this wonderland alone or with a friend via local multiplayer when Pixel Junk Eden 2 launches on Nintendo
It's not for me,
Switch
but
this
sure.
summer. Every good strategy game has its share of
Faria?
Faria.
World of Faria at your own risk.
Because the reward is that Belgian developer Abercamp's card game.
Oh, now it's Belgian developers.
And really puts your strategic skills to the test, as you craft not only your decks, but also the terrain of the battlefield itself.
There are lots of ways
It's
to
nice
unlock
enough,
cards
I'm
with
just not really too into this particular set of video games that have card games in them.
Plus, there are online co-op
me neither.
missions and some puzzles on the side too.
But still,
The
fine
Nintendo Switch
enough.
version of Faria comes with 4 free cosmetic packs available to download for free for a limited time when the game launches later this spring. And after that, they'll be available as in-game purchases.
Surprised they didn't say it's out today.
Eldest Souls, can you even more blame Penta?
Eldest Souls. So this is what happens to players that spend a little bit too long on Dark Souls.
They can't make an indie title without changing the name
You're going to
too
want to
much.
pay attention to your loadout here too, because combat customization and unlockable talents and abilities, they're all key to your survival.
Be among the first to take up the challenge when Eldest Souls launches as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch this summer.
All right, everybody, so we're almost out of time today. But before we go,
one more.
I'd like to share a
One
quick
more
peek
thing.
at a few more indie games that are being
Oh no,
worked on
this
by
went
some
by
amazing
rather
developers around
quickly,
the world.
in a good way.
So we got a compilation of stuff coming out now. Blair
the
Witch.
Blair Witch
Oh,
game.
Blair Witch, I forgot that was a thing.
Ghost of a Tale.
Yeah, it was already the first release was on Xbox One, but now it's getting a port. And PC too, sorry.
Sky.
I feel like I've heard of this game somewhere before.
Very Journey-esque.
I'll say. Is it made by the same people?
Sky Racket.
Yeah, that game company, yeah.
Double Dash Studios, available later today.
Superliminal.
Oh, I feel like we were informed about this game at some point. It's the one that has all
Yeah,
that
it's the one
weird
with screws with your
perspective.
perception.
Wingspan.
Oh,
We really look at
game.
birds.
Bird watching simulator. With
Nah.
car games.
Dicey Dungeons.
Cute.
I was hoping it's better at making dice cool than Yu-Gi-Oh!
Bounty Battle.
Alliteration.
Oh, another Smash clone, I think. Golden Gallant.
Oh,
no.
so it's a bit of Frogger, it seems.
Just by
moving houses system.
bringing furniture.
I didn't know moving this furniture could be dangerous, like Twib said.
Well, everybody, it was a pleasure.
And it still is, because we have one more thing.
Yeah, one more.
One last thing.
The past has been erased.
Oh no.
Created.
A paradox, oh no.
The dungeon remains.
Okay, so it's a 8-bit-ish game. It looks very
It's very action-packed, I'll give it that.
the dungeon is falling apart.
Oh, it's Enter the Gungeon too?
Oh?
I haven't played the first one, but I heard about it.
Exits the dungeon.
Of course.
Whether you dared to enter the
A
dungeon or
stunning
not,
sequel.
be
So,
prepared
I'm
to
guessing the
exit.
first Gungeon game was popular.
Yeah, I heard it was popular.
Somehow managed to make the Arsenal Pact extravaganza we know as the Gungeon.
So what's the third one going to be called? Fuck the dungeon? Or what? I don't know.
Gungeon, yeah. Something like that.
Oh, they have to call it like Frick the Dungeon because, you know, you can't swear.
Switch as a time console exclusive
Later today.
Oh.
Jeez.
Well, everyone,
Oh.
it was a pleasure. Really.
It's out
It's
today.
over. For real this time.
But on behalf of Nintendo, we just want to take a minute to say thank you to our indie world community and all the developers out there that are just as passionate about indie games as all you fans that play them on Nintendo Switch.
And thanks to all of you for tuning in. For more of the latest news from the Indie World community, be sure to follow Nintendo of America's just launched official Indie World Twitter account at
Oh.
IndieWorldMA.
Okay.
Until next
Has
time,
Europe launched one?
See ya.
I don't know. Possible.
Probably not. This is the American stream, I think.
Anyway, alright, let me start with the thoughts so I can recap properly. In general, it was fine. Another, indie showcase, traditional indie showcase in terms of quality. Enough stuff to show, interesting enough, similar to the previous one we did. Individually, the first one, Blue Fire, sure, the links. Again, it gives me the vibe of Wind Waker. So it looks as a more acrobatic version of it, so with less gadget and more, agility. So we'll see. Baldo looks better than the first trailer. It really borrows only the aesthetic of a Studio Ghibli, movie, and instead focuses more on a traditional Zelda gameplay. Fair enough. That game, I Am Dead, I don't know exactly what it entails. Like, the protagonist is dead and he's spying on the living people of his, where he used to live, I guess. Bark, it's again a nice shooter. Where the market doesn't have that many at the moment, so nice enough to see an indie game developer wanted to do one just with an interesting spin, I guess. Design and Happiness game, like I mentioned, I followed the development. So during the Kickstarter, so I kind of know already how it's gonna play out. So that's nice enough. What was next? Oh, the My Time at Portia clone, I forgot, Mara, I think it's called. That one, straightforward too, just not for me. The time-based game, I don't know, not necessary for me. The Good Life from Swery, I followed the crowdfunding campaign there too. Decent enough, still probably not for me. That new game made by Hello Games, The Last Campfire, I think it's called. That one is a bit more interesting, so we'll see. Feria, the card game, like I said, not that much for me. And Exit the Gungeon, again, I need to play the first one, but it looks just as like the first one, if not better. And from the montage also was fine enough. So again, like I said, pretty solid, just like the previous couple of Indie World showcases.
Can I go next?
Sure.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, most of these Indie World showcases are pretty much just okay. I mean, the one I'm the most curious about was the debt collecting one. Funnily enough.
You're looking forward to collecting debts, are you?
No, repaying. Sorry, it's debt repaying. So I got it mixed up. Because that's all we do here in Britain, obviously. We stay in rural towns. We live in a place where we just embrace how shit our weather is and just call it rainy town and repay our debts, because that's what we always do, don't you, though? Is that true for you, Shiri?
Sure.
Yeah, there we are. So well done, Swery, you're accurate. But yeah, that's about it. It was okay.
Sure.
Again, it was a typical indie showcase. It's fine. The only game I actually have not this sequel, I guess, because I missed this one. I'm looking at the Gamatsu page. The only one I actually have any knowledge of at all is Exit the Gungeon. Because it is one of those games that I do often play with other people. Enter the Gungeon, rather. So, okay, that's fine enough. I Am Dead seems interesting enough, but it didn't really give a lot away about what exactly we'd been doing. But it was fine. What else? The first one seemed like a weird mix of 2D and 3D, almost. I see the Hat in Time comparison. Very different feel, though, obviously. I think that's really it from me for this. So, yeah.
Jova.
All right then, yeah. I mean, overall, I feel like the Nintendo Switch Indie World showcases are definitely a vast improvement over how the Nindies used to be. You know, like here it definitely feels like they picked the best of the best to show here and there. It feels like there's a nice source of variety here and there. Blue Fire was a pretty good starter. Looks like that'll be a nice full-out world adventure of sorts. Baldo looks a lot more like its own thing now, thanks to this new update. And yeah, I like the look and design of it. Fair stuff. Maybe not my speed. I Am Dead seems like an interesting. Seems like an interesting concept. I do feel like maybe we could stand to know a bit more about it, but overall, again, it interests me. And hey, it wouldn't be the first game we play when we're dead. Bio-integrated Arc, or Bark for short, that just looks all kinds of adorable here and there. Kudos to them for that. And there was the Cyanide and Happiness game. That also looked pretty nifty and neat here and there. Freak Apocalypse. I mainly follow the web cartoon more, but hey, it looks like it'll be something well-fitting here. And then there was the backpack simulator, The Legend of Mara, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting. Looks to be like a living simulator of sorts. So on and so forth. The game from Swery,
The Good Life.
The Good Life, yeah. That looks nice and adorable.
You can ride sheep, 10 out of 10.
But of course, that's
As a
what...
cat, also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, also a dog, Shiroi. You can also play as a dog, too. It's the best of all worlds, ain't it? That looks like it'll be a pretty nifty game as well. Nice and simple in concept, but well done in execution. And then came... then came Campfire.
Last Campfire, yeah.
Which looks like an adorable version of Dark Souls, but hey, not necessarily in rip-off territory. It looks all kinds of adorable as well. I guess that's the best way to describe this direct as whole, is just adorable with a lot of the concepts on hand here and there. There was that card landscape game of sorts.
Fairy.
Yeah, Fairy. Wait, Feria, I think it was?
Fairy, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Pixel Junk. That was... Okay, I'll admit, that may have been the weakest thing for me, if only because I feel like it didn't stand out as much. It was a thing. Then there was a nice highlight reel we got. That looks pretty nice. And then they ended on Exit the Gungeon, which looks like it'll be a good follow-up to the original Gungeon. Also, it's nice to see that Hello Games are, still up and running and have redeemed themselves ever since the little fiasco with No Man's Sky, and their new game looks interesting too. So yeah, overall, I'd say this Nindy Direct did its job and was actually fun to look at. Not bad. Not bad.
Alright then, so I guess we'll see you for another one, or at least the next Nintendo Direct. Hopefully not too long from now.
When that happens.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.